Kevlin?
Hmm? Yes, I am.
That's a nice surprise. I own this bookshop.
Ah, the surprise is all mine. Seeing a copy of this after so many years.
I remember this was a big seller back then, when it was published.
Keep it here?
Yeah, sure. Perhaps, what, 4 years ago?
4 years, 2 months, to be precise.
I guess your surprise is more to do with the fact that I recognized you, than the fact that you found your book here. However, I'm not surprised you came here. Perhaps you'll share a cup of tea with me. It's that time of the day.
Sure.
Please come.
Thanks again.
Yeah. Kevlin. That name created quite a sensation back then when the book was published. What does it mean, anyways?
It's Sanskrit. It means a liberated soul.
Liberated soul. If that even exists. Wouldn't have thought that was an Indian name.
It is Indian. Just a little uncommon.
Well, as Indian as your story was.
You remember the story? That's quite impressive.
Of course. It's my business to know what sells. The story of the beautiful actress and her travails in life after she lost her child. Dies by drowning. And your press interview, that it was inspired by amazing actor Advika. Advika. Now, what an actor. What a unique name. Yeah, she was unique.
Listen. The part about it being inspired by Advika is true. But the rest of the story is fiction, just so you know, right? Okay?
Until life imitated fiction. Did you know Advika really lost her child 3 months after the book was published?
So I heard.
And then Soul Cages took off. Faster than I could get it delivered, even in this little town. And the press, they smelled a scoop. Some critics were unkind enough to say that it was because of this coincidence that the book was selling. But I think it has merits of its own. Even if you've not been able to write a single word in the last 4 years.
Thank you for that, sir. You said you were not surprised to see me here. May I know why?
You already know the answer to that, sir.
So she does live here.
I don't know if you would call it living. It's an existence of sorts. Somewhere between reality and the unreal. But yes, you've come to the right place. I imagine it must have been quite a search for you.
2 years.
Sometimes old doors are best left closed.
No. This is a search for a new story and life beyond this moment.
Seeking the next inspiration from the same woman who inspired the first. In a writer's block and hunting down his past for a sequel. There's something that doesn't fit right in this. In fact, it just isn't right.
Can you just tell me where she lives and leave it at that?
This is a small town. Everybody knows where she lives. You can ask around. In any case, I will not be the one leading you to that door. Sir, please leave her alone.
Thanks for your time. Behold the king of death. Welcome back to light. Hunting for its next prey. Behold its king of death. Welcome back to light. Hunting for its next prey. Behold its king of death. Welcome back to light. Hunting for its next prey. Behold its king of death.
Behold, the King of Darkness. Welcome back to light. You do know who I am, O King of Death? Or is it that you've had the pleasure of snuffing out so many that your memory fails you? Read this.
Listen. There has been a mistake. I'm not...
Yes. 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 There has been a mistake. A huge one. And I've been waiting for you to make amends. Read it now. Read it.
They came abruptly and with the grace of a moonbeam. The ferociousness of the unknown bathed in a salute was matched by the
The calmness of the angel, bathed in radiance. Go on.
The silence of the dark gyrations screamed, and the grace of the angel that led him by the hand soothed. He followed her quietly, timidly, as she led him up the moonbeam. The beam was so washed in white that he could fathom nothing beyond its radiance. But there were movements in the dark beyond, shifting shapes, sudden motions, and an electric presence that could be felt but not seen.
Now, Your Highness, do you realize the mistake that was made?
Listen, Advika. I'm not a king. I'm a writer.
Who writes destiny?
I write fiction. Stuff that I make up. It's not real.
What he writes as fiction. Things he makes up from his imagination comes true in other people's lives. He writes for his amusement, and others are left nursing their pain.
Listen to me, Advika. It was just a coincidence that your child passed away just as a child passed away in my story. There's nothing else between your life and the life of the protagonist of my book that was in common. It was just a story. The child in my book died by drowning. Yours didn't. Don't you see that? God damn it.
A story. If death be the end, what does it matter? What road anyone takes? What matters is that you wrote the destiny of my child.
Advika, please just listen to me. It's just a coincidence, okay? Please, just...
And your destiny has brought you to me.
Advika, let's please talk about this. Just untie me and then, please, I'm begging you. Advika.
We have a score to settle, Your Highness.
Advika, let me explain. Advika.
Unfinished business.
Advika, let me explain. It's not what you think. Advika.
Come. Come with me. And I'll show you what you have done. You tried hard. But you couldn't take him away.
Listen to me, Advika.
Shh. Shh. You see? He's still sleeping in his bed. In his home. Shh. Wake him up, Your Highness. This is your weapon. Use it wisely. In this book, write out the next destiny. And this time, make sure you undo what you have done to my child. And this time, he shall awaken to his mother. And the two shall stay together for eternity.
You want me to write a sequel?
Isn't that how His Royal Highness works? He writes, claims inspiration. Reality follows.
I think you really don't understand. My writing anything is not going to change what transpired.
Humility. In the face of someone that writes destinies. What a paradox. What a lie. You, your Royal Highness, will stay here, and you will rewrite my life. If you lose a wager with the king of the sea, you'll spend the rest of forever in a cage with me. These are the soul cages. These are the soul cages.
A strange twist of fate. I came searching for a story, and she waits for me to complete the story. Perhaps it's time to write a destiny. The colors in the promised land were nothing like he had ever seen before. Even the most beautiful places he had visited on his last school picnic trip faded to sheer insignificance when he first set sight on this country. The souls that populated this planet breathed peace. There was certain permanence to the beauty. This was no tryst with the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. This was life in and as the rainbow. Laughing with a purity of mirth that resonated with his environs. It was as though he had never been outside of this kingdom of heaven. He belonged here.
Yes. Yes. That sounds so much like him. You know, I had once taken him to this lovely theme park, and he spent 2 hours just running from one ride to the other without even taking a single ride. Just delighted to be there. He came home. He was so exhausted he ran straight to bed. The poor thing. We were both so happy that day. Yes. Yes. He is delighted with the sights in heaven. But you know what? He can't be happy for long. He just can't. He would want to come back home. You see, his mother isn't with him. And without me, heaven isn't heaven. It's just perdition.
What does he mean I cannot return? Yes, heaven is beautiful. But of what use is his beauty if I cannot be with the ones I love? If I cannot have her here, this cannot be heaven. I have been caged.
I'm glad you're beginning to see reason. The poor boy. He feels caged. And he wants to return to his body.
You know, Advika, a return to his body is perhaps not what he desires. Advika, heaven is a place of great beauty. But the boy feels lost as his loved ones are not there to enjoy heaven with him. He wants you with him, Advika.
But how do I go to him?
They say, if a pure soul prays hard enough, wishes come true. The boy's prayers are for the mother to be with him. No one can deny him of that. Not even the king of death.
Now it all makes sense. Why couldn't you have told me this earlier? I would have gone to him ages ago. I never thought this would be the way to get back with him. I cannot thank you enough. Please complete the story. And this time, it will come true. And the two shall be united again.
Everyone has to come back to me, son. But at my will, and at the end of your time. For if the choice of life and death were left to humans, there would be no balance left anywhere. For illusion though this life may be, it is one of extreme addiction. And should I leave the choice of life and death to the human, I would have nothing left to do. Neither, for that matter, would you. For the illusion will eventually neither let you die, nor would it let you live the way you would like to.
What are you doing? What are you doing to him?
Advika, listen to me.
You liar! You cheat!
Advika, listen to me.
You're taking him!
Listen to me. This is not the way to live, Advika.
I cannot live without him. Bring him back to me. Finish your story.
I will, Advika. First, you listen to me. You will be reunited with your boy. But for now, you will have to let him go. At sunrise, he will be completely liberated. And one day, your time will come. My time will come. Everyone who's here in this world, they all have a time when they have to go back. And on that day, you will too. But if you try and force your will in impatience, you stand to lose him forever. Let him go. Let him go.
He can't live without me.
I know, Advika. You will be reunited with him. I promise.
You promise? You promise?
I promise.
And we will never be parted ever again.
Never. The boy will be yours for eternity. From the beginning of time when life is born, till the end of being when he ends our flight, a tale is played out for all lives on earth by twin sisters of darkness and light. The sister of light walks with us through a journey, guiding us across high hills and valleys deep. The other twin waits at a time unseen, guiding us through the land of eternal sleep. Twins who could not be without each other, and yet were kindred souls that had never met. This was the story of those celestial twins, one called life, one called death.